Hello and welcome to the Hobby Corner. My name's Kev and today we are looking at issue 9 of the Imperium magazine, which has been very kindly sponsored by Pressel. You absolute fucking legend. Thank you so much for sponsoring this issue, and if you want to be an absolute fucking legend just like Pressel, then all you have to do is hit one of those links either to Streamlabs or buy me a coffee, make your donation and make sure you tell me who it's from and that is for the Imperium magazine. And then you'll be forever immortalised on the internet as an absolute fucking legend. So, without further ado, let's hop in to this issue. Now, we have one half of a double sprue. So in the Indomitus box and in the larger starting sets, you get a big double-sided sprue here. It is a two-part because one has more SCARABS and less actual Necron Warriors than the other one. So it's very important that they don't mix up these sprues when packing 9 and 10, which unfortunately they have. So if you have received both issues 9 and 10 and issue 10 has the same sprue as issue 9, then contact Hachette and I'll put you on a list to get it all sorted out. But essentially there's no cure for it at the moment. They're just trying to figure out how it happened and how to fix it, so without losing too much money. But anyways, it's a pretty cool sprue nonetheless. You get your two big bases for those two SCARABs there, and you get your 4 bases here for the 4 warriors that's on that one. So at least that's all right. Let's find out in issue 10 if we get the same or if we get the right one. Who knows? I'm kind of hoping that I do get the right one, but I'm kind of hoping I got the wrong one just so I can get some more miniatures in the future. But you know what? I'm not greedy. Anyways, issue 9, Necron Warriors and SCARABS, Space Marine chapter fold out and action packed playthrough. Yes, that's right. We got a pull out. Whoosh! Look at that. Literally pulled it out. So, chapter organization from Space Marines. Let's do it. So the organisation of Space Marine chapters owes itself to the Codex Astartes, the masterwork of Roboute Guilliman, Primarch of the Ultramarines. So great is the book's influence upon the Space Marines that it's considered holy by many chapters, because they're absolute nuts. When he began work on the Codex Astartes, Guilliman's aim was to limit the size and power of each Space Marines chapter whilst ensuring they would remain capable of defending the Imperium. This he achieved by recording all of his military and logistical knowledge, alongside stratagems and tactics for every conceivable military situation. He set down a strict structure for the organisation of a Space Marine chapter, from the number of companies, warriors and squads each chapter would have, to the iconography and uniform markings they would bear in battle. I mean, that's a logistical nightmare to sort out, but he managed. So, yeah, most have kept to it, some have devoted themselves to it, and others have sort of changed bits and pieces according to their own traditions and Primarchs. And yeah, it's not the law to follow it, but it does cause problems when a Codex Astartes compliant chapter comes to blows with one that isn't. So there you go. Moving on, we have Ultramarine Strike Force, led by their Primarch Roboute Guilliman. An Ultramarine Strike Force does battle with the fated Death Guard Legion of the traitorous demon Primarch Mortarion. Following the blazing light of Guilliman's sword, the chapter advances. Let's have a look in here. Whoosh! Look at that. So there's Big Morty there, there's Bobby G, and you got some aggressors and got what the blooming well called? They are called Reavers. That was it, Reavers. But like, they even throw in the old Terminators as well, which I think is good. You know, we don't want them to be obsolete. Got the old Land Raider. There's a lot of speculation about whether or not Primaris is going to phase out the older stuff, but I think some of it's going to stick around, and I think some of it might get phased out. It's tough to say, really. So you got some really cool looking stuff going on here. Lots of repulsor tanks and that. And yeah, look, you even got Marnius Calca there. You've got Tigurius there, the head chaplain, not chaplain, librarian. It's all good, it's all good. We have the chapter structure as well. So you got at the top of the chapter's command structure is the chapter master. Only the most powerful and respected warriors and leaders of the chapter can hope to rise to such position. The chapter master is aided in his duties by 10 captains, each of whom commands one of the chapter's 10 companies. Should he take to the battlefield, the chapter master is accompanied by an elite honor guard. And then beneath him he has the Reclusium, which has the chaplains. You got the Librarius, which has the librarians, the Apothecarian, who has the apothecaries, and the Armory, which has the tech marines and all the cool stuff. You got the first company, which is like your most honored veterans, and they, you know, they're just battle hardened nutters. And then you got companies 2, 3, 4, and 5. So these are they do the bulk of your fighting, and yeah, they're quite versatile as well. 6 and 7 are your reserve companies, close support reserve for 8. 9 is a fire support reserve, so they're going to have your heavy weapons and stuff. And then scout company 10, that's where you're almost fully fledged space marines, but not quite, will be doing their final duties before they get the black carapace and become full-on Adeptus Astartes. And so there you go, that is that. And of course you got a little bit here on Brothers in Arms. So that is a cool little pull-out. Alright, so let's have a look in the issue itself. So we got Warrior Phalanx, the Silent Legions. So phalanxes. Necron Warriors fight in groups called phalanxes. Each phalanx is formed of 10 Necron Warriors. Back in my day, it was formed of 12. So they cut down on that a little bit. But that's alright, no worries. Each phalanx, a phalanx fights in tight formation, advancing slowly but relentlessly, while driving back their opponents with volleys of Gauss fire. Most Necron dynasties can field hundreds of phalanxes of soulless Necron warriors. This combination of superior firepower and overwhelming numbers usually results in a quick defeat of the dynasty's foes. So they can be armed with 2 different weapons. You got the Reapers and the Flayers. Each one does slightly different thing. You've got shorter range but more shots. You got longer range but fewer shots. Boom, job done. You could do the whole battle record thing as well, which is pretty cool. So can't wait to do that again. That's going to be done on a live show on a Monday night at 9 PM after a playthrough. So keep your eyes out for that. And we've got CANOPTEK SCARABS here. Oh look, we've got more like actual notes kind of stuff. I kind of like that stuff. Report by Inquisitor Leonid Rostov. These ravenous CANOPTEK constructs seek only to atomize living material and recycle it to benefit the Necron race. I mean, that's basically their job, isn't it? So what do they have? They got command protocols, auto routines, replication, anti-grav propulsion, flensing claws and mandibles, and the carrier wave receptor. They seem fully equipped to do everything they need to do. You got different types as well. You got mind shackle scarabs. So these ones to enslave mortal beings to the Necron's will. So they just latch themselves onto living people and just all of a sudden that's it. You just got more troops. And you also got nano scarabs, which are used to help fix the necrodermis armor of the Necron leadership. So we've got a battle record here as well, but it's pretty cool. The Scarabs get a battle record. Yay! Now we've got Ultramarines, courage and honor. Though their exploits upon the field of battle are the stuff of legend, the Ultramarines are more than mere soldiers. Each is a well versed in tactics, statecraft, and diplomacy, as they are with blade and bolter. And the idea behind their training from their Primarch was literally one day when the Great Crusade finishes, you lot aren't going to be needed as warriors, you're going to be needed as statesmen, and for diplomacy, and for helping to rule the galaxy. So he taught them how to do that, rather than just be mindless warriors who are just out there to, you know, gun everything. He had quite a lot of foresight, and if it weren't for the Horus Heresy, that may have actually happened. Because Space Marines would have become redundant. But anyways, you got the Victrix Guard, who exemplify the Ultramarines' training in the arts of statecraft and warfare, handpicked by Roberto Guilliman. They serve as his personal honor guard, as well as acting as diplomatic envoys to his allies. So, some really good reading there. You got some other peeps here. The Age of Witches, warp powers abound. So, the opening of the Great Rift had many terrible effects upon the galaxy. Some were immediately obvious and utterly catastrophic. Others took longer to become apparent, only revealing themselves as the corrupting power of the warp bled out across the galaxy. You know, psychic sensitive people was increasing anyway. So when the Great Rift opened up, it sort of just advanced that whole problem. And of course, that causes a lot of issues because untrained psychers are very easy to be corrupted or just become dangerous bombs, essentially, for warp energy. The warp is a dimension of psychic energy that exists beyond the bounds of reality. Most intelligent creatures have a psychic connection to the warp, which is empowered by the emotions of living beings. Some sentient beings have a stronger connection to the warp than others. They possess the ability to draw upon the warp's power, manifesting it in various ways. Using even a small amount of this power is incredibly dangerous, however, for few minds are strong enough to wield it without their souls being consumed by the demons and dark gods that dwell within the warp. So we have sanctioned psychers who are properly trained, and they are used as weapons, and because of the training, it's harder for them to fall to chaos or, you know, demonic possessions, but it still happens because it's such a dangerous thing. Alien psychers like the Eldar, or Eldari as they're now known as, they've had thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of years of fine-tuning their skills over humanity. So it's more of a thing for them, but they're a lot more sensitive to it, and they use it a lot more for creating their civilizations. And then you have Chaos Psychers, who are basically sorcerers. They fall into the dark powers or have demonic possession, and they just want to get some cool booty, like immortality or some stuff, or just more power. But yeah, they're just dirt, man. Absolute dirt. Hey, so we have Soulless Cohorts. So is this... Ooh, it's a little story. Okay, let me get my story voice on. The Soulless Cohorts. The icy industrial world of Corona is assailed by the Necron legions of the Zerakan dynasty. Determined to conquer new territory, noble Necron commanders summon the Soulless Cohorts and advance upon the frozen planet, determined to claim it in the name of the Silent King. So yeah, nice bit of toilet reading there. We've got a nice little report there as well, that's pretty cool. And then we've got our build guide. So it's saying it's a variant assembly. That means you have some options on it, and also you need both issues to fully build them. But here's your little guide, and yeah, I mean, if you're going to get multiples of these, it's good to have one lot of Reapers and one lot of Flayers. But if you are like me and you've got a collection of Necrons already, they would already have the Gorse Flayers. So it just makes sense to give them the Reapers, just so you got some variation. Unless you're looking to replace the older miniatures, which I'm not. I'm going to add to them, because it's good to have variety. Duel in the Depths. This is the playthrough. The Overlord of Megara's Necron invaders has risen from his slumber, and now, with the aid of his Royal Warden, seeks to confront the Space Marines leaders. Cool. So we have the Lieutenant and the Captain on one side, and the Royal Warden and the Overlord on the other for an epic showdown. Pow, 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 pow. what do we have? We got full. Oh, I don't know if it's full, but near enough, close to fully fleshed out data sheets. That is awesome. You got the damage that is caused by things now, so that's very important. You got both weapon skill and ballistic skill for the captain, and the same for all of them. Oh look, he's actually got weapon skill now, which means he can actually fight in combat. Huzzah! Awesome. So what are you learning in this one then? Essentially the fight sequence, charging, fighting, opponent fights, back and forth, back and forth. I mean, we already know that. So it just looks like it's just fun to knock out your heroes and have a good crack at seeing who's is toughest. And then when we get to issue 10, I assume that's when you get the Necron Warriors out. So ooh, I like the little special effects that they put in there as well. That's really cool. And it says keep playing by going back to Necron turn 1 and follow the instructions. Continue playing through turns until only one player has models remaining. That player wins the game. There we go. And then issue 10 is the second half of them. And issue 11, you get your medium dry brush and the Primaris Librarian in Fauxhammer, which I can't wait for that. That's going to be in the next delivery. But what I want to know from you guys is, what do you think about this issue? It is very lore heavy, so that's cool. There's plenty of reading in there, especially because in the next issue you're probably going to have a bit more stuff to do with your miniatures as well. There's going to be more extensive paint guide, I assume. But let me know in the comments below what you think. Subscribe, like, share, all that beautiful stuff that helps support the channel. And if you want to go a bit further, you could be an absolute legend like Pretzel and sponsor an issue. Just hit the link to Streamlabs or buy me a coffee to make your donation. Make sure you tell me who it's from and what it's for, the Imperium magazine. And once you've done that, if you're feeling extra generous, you can always hop over to the Buy Me a Coffee membership page, where you can join for as little as £2 a month and be safe in the knowledge that your favourite hobby content creator has been sponsored, well not sponsored, has been supported fully by you absolute legendary bastards. Also, if you want to get yourself some stuff, you've got the Element Games link, you've got the Forbidden Planet link as well. All purchases through there get a little kickback to the channel, which again helps support us, but you get stuff for yourself. And yeah, not much more I can say, but thank you so much to Pretzel and thank you for watching. Stay safe, big love to you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace! Let's pop that over there. Got to catch my breath. I get very breathy when I talk. I need to learn some breath control, definitely. Are there any actors out there who can help me with that? Hook me up.